let's get it. I said diamond hearts, glass hearts, broken heart, false start, soul of music. Man, goddamn it, that's a lost start. Paging God, I don't think that she can hear me. Cause it's hot by my feet, I got demons walking near me. But all fans, loving sins, loving sex, fake niggas, a bitter ex.
What's going on, people? What's up?
How y'all been? We back with another banger.
Back with it, baby. We know it's been a minute since we've been out there.
Yes, Lord.
Yes,
we here, though.
Yes.
We miss y'all, too.
We did. You know, we had to come back to y'all, and hey, we see you there. We see you. Not talking back. I see you. But yeah, so we thank y'all for rocking with us, man, for thus far. Just want to say that, you know what I'm saying? And we haven't been here for a minute, but we back now.
Listen, so it's some things that's been going down, and we're going to talk about them. I'm going to tell y'all right now, we got some haters out there, and it's cool, but we ain't talking about just over the internet. We talking about direct haters that we can see on a daily basis. So, you know, we didn't let that discourage us, so that's why we back here to talk to you guys.
And we excited, ain't we?
Absolutely. You already know.
Excited. We know we kept y'all waiting for a long time, but hey, we kept you waiting for a reason.
Absolutely. And you know, I love it. When you bring smoke, I inhale it and I puff it back out to you. Take it however you want to take it, you know, even though I don't smoke, but you already know I like to smoke.
That's it. Where there's smoke, hey, there's a fire. There's a fire.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, with that being said, sit up straight. Look at me.
Hey, talk to me. I talk back.
It's your boy Jay.
And your boy Mel. We about to give it to y'all. Yes, Lord.
Hey, welcome to this episode on Pass the Word.
Yes, sir.
Today, we're going to be talking about generational curses. Let's break them.
Or should we? Or should we? You know? Hey, look, I like this topic. I know some of y'all gonna like it too. Some of y'all won't. Listen, just talk to us, and we're gonna work through this. But again, we want y'all feedback. We want y'all to tune in. We want y'all to, you know, talk with us as we go through this, because these are things that people, you know, some people are afraid to talk about. Some people don't want to talk about. Some people want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's good, bad, and different. Either way, we want to talk about it. We're going to give y'all our opinion on it. Again, we say opinion because, you know, we may believe in certain things. Don't mean that it's facts. So we just going to talk to y'all.
We do. We're going to have a good conversation. But before we get too deep into it, Mel, I just want to put this out here right now as a disclaimer.
Uh-oh.
Anything that we do is not affiliated with the United States military or armed forces, i.e. Marine Corps, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, Space Force, none of it.
Army.
I forgot about them.
Damn.
The U.S. Army.
Hey, you know Joe will call for you now.
Oh, you know, he gonna get me. He gonna get me. So anything that happens on the show, it has nothing to do with any of those armed services. It's not anything that's going to push towards their opinion. So anything that we talk about on the show is about myself and Mel. Nothing to do with the armed forces.
So, look, you my boy, but at the same time, I want to say this. And this is not me going against what he just said. But if it just so happened to deal with the armed forces, everything it isn't bad, you know, so to say. If I speak on something that somebody talked to me about from a different unit or the unit that I'm in, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm just saying, don't get butthurt about it because somebody telling the truth. And that's the problem. That's why we talk about what we talk about, because there are things in this world that people, you know, are doing, and we're talking about it, and they don't like it because it's exposing what things that are happening. I'm just that's just what it is. And like we said, this show is for us to talk to people like-minded people. If you don't like it, voice your opinion. We'll talk to you about it too, because we come from all different walks of life, and that's all we want to do.
We just want to be that. Some people don't have that voice or don't have that space to talk. That's why we created it, so we can get it out there. Again, this has no correlation, or our ideals has nothing to do with the military.
This is for everybody.
Yes,
everybody.
What we talk about has nothing to do with that. Okay?
Right.
So
it's not just based on the military. We talk about everything. This is for everybody. So don't take it as if this show is just about the military.
Right.
Yes, we talk about military things because we just happen to be military.
Absolutely.
But these things go also in the civilian sector because people can relate, and some people just take it out of context. And you know,
hey, I'm a hop right into it.
Let's
go. Get off that. I'm a hop right into it. Now, hey, so a generational curse. First of all, you got to acknowledge that there's a curse, or admit the existence of a curse.
Well, let me ask you this though, before you get to that part, because I when we went through our whole thing, I jotted down some things, you jotted down some things, and then when you told me about that one, I wanted to ask you this. Well, what is a generational curse?
Well, by definition, a curse is something that's of ill intent or harm, something that is cast in a sense on you. Now, when you speak generations means like length, more than one. It goes through family. It goes through a lineage. It ain't just one person. You know, it goes back to the beginning.
Okay.
What about you? What do you think it is?
I mean, I don't disagree because obviously, if it's a curse, then that means that, you know, it has something, it's bounded to something. So, or like
it's attached to something.
Right. Like, and it doesn't, when you hear curse, it's always associated with something negative.
Yes.
So that, I don't disagree with what you just said. So, yeah.
Now, generation, I want to, because you brought up a good point. Because when you said generational, a lot of people kind of get misconstrued on what it is to be generational. And I'll reiterate, it's something that goes back. It's before you. It's something that was always in your line, and it happened to fall upon you.
Okay, I'm listening. But I always like to, give facts. So I looked it up, and the first thing that pops up, it says ancestral sin.
And that's just what it is. I'm glad you looked that up, Mel, because that's exactly what it is.
And nothing about a sin is good.
Nothing.
No.
That's a curse in itself.
Right.
Ancestral sin. Let us sink in for a minute, people. Let us sink in. Ancestral sin. So when they say ancestral, that if you can come and walk with me and go with me, that started way back in the day.
Not wade in the water.
Way back there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It started with two people, didn't it?
Hey. Go ahead, I'm listening.
It started with two people. If you ever heard the saying that you're paying for your father's sins, or you're paying for what was done before you. So you were already born into a curse.
Ooh.
You were already born into one. Now, we're going to discuss how you can get out of that curse a little bit later on, but we're going to talk about that curse in itself.
Or if you even want to get out of the curse.
If you want to do something to get out of it, you got to want to get out of the curse. Right?
Well, some people don't. Now, we brought this up because there are some things that, we'll talk about it when we get there, because I don't want to do that, because then I'm going to give y'all, bits and pieces of this show, and I want to do that. I want y'all to stay tuned with us. Yes. And if we got this chat, if y'all we can't type back to y'all, but we can respond. So if y'all got questions, just throw them out there.
Right. If we say we run over something and you kind of confused about it, we'll tarry there for a little bit to clear it up.
Right. We'll put in reverse, Terry.
So the legitimacy of the decisions of your forefathers. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
You're paying for decisions that were made
I like
by
that
your
word.
father's fathers. The legitimacy.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Is it legit though?
Yeah. The fidelity of it.
Ooh, that's questionable.
Is it legit though?
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Or is it?
Not all of
It
it.
seemed like it's quite clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think people are accustomed to doing what they see other people do.
Mm-mm.
And when some people, they can be strung along.
How they rate that?
That's exactly what I was just saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, because and we're gonna bring up some things too based off of that, because obviously me and my wife, we come from different backgrounds, and with that being said, there are some things that I do not agree with on her side of the family, and there are some things on my side that I don't agree with, and I'm sure she feels the same way, but it's just how you were raised, and let me tell you, I found some things that just ain't it, man.
There's some disturbing stuff.
Absolutely.
Disturbing things. Like and it's blindly. Like you following stuff because that's what you're taught.
And that's the blind leading the blind. How can you do that? Because we get told, every day, you want to follow good leaders.
Yes.
Now, if you following somebody that don't know anything, you're destined to be
failure.
doomed. Right.
For failure.
Absolutely. So why would I want to, if I know that nothing good is going to come out of it, why would I want to follow that?
You shouldn't want to do it.
And because somebody is at the hierarchy, the top of the hierarchy.
They said this is what you're going to do without question.
And then you know what? You overheard somebody say, if I jump off a bridge, would you jump off of it?
I heard it all the time.
Right, because that's when your parents, when you saying something or you doing something, your parents get irritated with you, and then they say, so or you did something.
What Susie Q over there doing? You just gonna do what Susie Q do?
Right, you gonna be Boo Boo the fool.
Yeah.
And if he jump off a bridge, you gonna jump off one. But yet here we are, and
following behind something that you said that we should do.
Talk to me, I'll talk back.
Something that you said that we should do. Something that you were taught. So now, without question, since you were taught it, you're gonna teach your children. Right. But you don't even know what you're teaching your children. You never questioned. You never questioned. Now some might very well know what they're teaching their children.
I'm sorry, because I'm that type. I'm that guy. If it don't look, if you get me out of my comfort zone, I got a problem.
Right.
I love to be in my comfort zone. I'm very independent. Some might say an introvert, because I just listen, people. I'm about to tell y'all something. Don't be mad at me, but I don't do well with people, because people are fickle. You don't know what that means? Google it. It'll tell you. You know what? I'll give it to you. If the wind blow this way and you sway, and then it blow back this way, you sway that way. Yep, that's my definition.
So by the time people are built up to follow, without question.
Right, and I'm just not that type of person, because it got to make sense to me.
And I need to know for myself, not only for me, but for my children.
I almost sound like a cult. So you just following people
mindlessly following people and don't even have an understanding of what you're doing, understanding of why you're doing these traditions, or understanding why you have to speak a certain way, or understanding why you have to move a certain way.
Well,
for the comfortability of somebody else.
Right, but some people do, and they like it because they're in control of people, and that could be detrimental
Not used to control.
Yes.
Not used to control a group of people.
Yeah, sounds familiar, don't it?
Don't it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, sounds very familiar, don't it?
Woo.
Right. So, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
Some might say it's militant.
See, I'm not doing it today. Don't do it today.
Yeah,
You're
some
not
might
going
say
there.
it's militant.
I won't do it. I won't go.
Stop. Don't look, man.
I won't.
I already told you. Look, bro, I'm not gonna let nobody hold me down.
I mean, you can't, man. It's certain things that need to be spoke up and spoke about, and that's the reason why I believe a lot of curses have never been lifted. A lot of curses, a lot of people still tend to fall into a line because, one, you're not comfortable being the only person that's fighting something that's wrong.
Uh-oh.
You're not comfortable doing that.
He said he wasn't gonna do it, but he.
I'm trying not to do it. I'm trying to stay on topic. I'm
Hey.
trying to stay on topic, and I'm gonna stay right here on top. But I am gonna say it's
I
hard.
think you
It's
on,
difficult.
I think you on topic.
It's difficult to be the only person that's calling something blue when everybody says it's red.
That means that you're not following behind that generational curse.
You're not
Because
because you
you-
want to know for yourself.
But 1 + 1 don't equals 2. It don't equal
It's a lot
2.
more than that to that.
It don't
isn't it?
equal 2, and that's the thing. When you know
No,
it,
no, let me tell you something, Mel, because a lot of us are a little confused. Like, tell us about this 1 + 1 not equaling 2. Can you talk? Can you speak
Yes.
about it for a little
because,
bit?
look, just because you tell me that something is what it is doesn't mean that it actually is what it is.
Come on, now.
And if I question that, you can't tell me that I'm wrong because I question it. Stop doing that. That's a generational curse. And you don't want somebody to break it because it's cult-like. And you get to have your way. You get to have your way. And that's why people have problems with it. You see what I'm saying?
It's almost like a slave mentality.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You hear that can he just kicked?
I said it's almost like a slave mentality.
Why would you say that? Can you elaborate, sir?
Well, without doing too much or without going too deep into it, you know, we're all familiar with slavery. You know, the types of duties or jobs that one would do as a slave. You know, you'd have your house slave, and you'd have your field slave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the mentality that goes is that the house slaves has it a little bit easier than the slave in the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little bit more. He gets a little bit more. He gets a little bit closer to the master's hand. You know, so everybody in the field want to be in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for me, I want to own the house.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's where my mentality is at. I ain't trying to be in the field or in the house. I want to own it.
Right.
I said what I said. And
So-
I think that we can't get out of that mentality because us, and I'm going to wrap it back around because us as a people have a problem with that. That's a generational curse as a people, as a group. We don't want to see the other one do better. We got to be the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why is that?
I answered the question earlier. Control. It's all about control. That's what it boils down to.
But why not make it better for your people? You just gonna think about yourself. So once you get into the spot that you want to be in, oh, now you in a good spot.
But
everybody else can just suffer.
But you said it though. Yourself. It's all about control. It's all about control.
We got to get away from it, Mel. We got to get away from it.
Well, how do we do that?
It's almost like a toxic relationship. You think about a toxic, and it can, and this can be any type of relationship, whether it be a relationship with your spouse, you know, a relationship with your work supervisor, a relationship with the people, the deacons in the church,
Not
the
the
mother of the
deacon.
church.
Not the deacon.
It could be even a relationship with your children.
Right. Well, what we got here? Oh, he done tuned in. What's up, boy?
Anything.
You right. Yesterday's prices are not today's prices. There it is. I like that one. Right.
And
House slaves equals stay-at-home moms. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that.
I still think that a stay-at-home mom. I'm not getting too far off subject, but I think a stay-at-home mom. That's
They
a
work
job.
hard.
That's a job, and I think it's not as respected as it should be respected.
They do work hard. Now we ain't gonna talk about that because we gonna ruffle some feathers now.
We show love. I refuse to talk about that.
I
That's
don't
what I
wanna
will
talk
not
about
do.
that.
I would not do that. You trying to get me in trouble out here?
Right.
I won't do it.
I don't think that house slaves equals stay-at-home moms. Well, elaborate on that because I want to know what you mean by that.
Oh, she talk. That's a whole nother subject. Like the breadwinners. That's a whole nother beast.
Okay.
We go. That's a whole nother beast.
Okay, I see. You know what? You just stay. You just
Stay
hold
tuned,
on
because we're gonna talk about
We're
that.
gonna talk about that one.
You stay tuned. That one.
We're
That's
gonna-
gonna be a whole episode in itself that I want to address.
Or
about
not
that.
slaves, but that's a generational curse. Women have to be responsible for the home and the children. Yep, men have to be. The
That's
breadwinners.
almost like a
So-
thing that society makes you want to feel and makes you believe that women should be stay at home, and men should be the ones as the breadwinners. But you said times are changing. Like I don't even want to get into it. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother episode. I want you to hold on to that. I want you to hold on.
See
to
that bottom comment, boy. That's it.
And that's a whole other episode in itself.
Yes, we will.
But we can't touch on it in a generational curse though. That can be touched on.
Well, let's talk.
That can be touched on
Let's
because-
Let's talk about that.
Because I'm gonna talk about some stuff that happened to me as I grew up and what kind of household I grew up in, and I just want to put this out here right now. I mean, no disrespect to anybody that may come into this conversation, but there was a lot of stuff that happened as I was growing up that I did not necessarily agree with.
Boy, I like this. This is
And
so.
I think that a lot of stuff that was taught was, hey, just the mentality of how we were taught as children, how we grew up is, hey, you're a child. You need to stay in a child's place. Stay in a child's place. Now, if I tell you to do something, you do it without question.
Now,
and when
I like-
I ask you to do it because I'm the one.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do.
You stand and I with reason. I understand that a child should stay in a child's place. Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. But there's
Right.
also some times and some you need to take time out to I wouldn't say explain, but to help your children have an understanding as to why they don't need to know everything.
Yes. Yes.
That's called communication,
Now, that-
which we did not.
That's one thing that I was gonna bring up. That with my family and my wife's family, and there's a huge difference because now, and I'm saying this because this is how I grew up. If we had a get together and there was 20 plus people, like, and I say that, just kind of throwing it out there, but it was way more than that at a house. And then there were grown-ups in the living room talking and the kids were playing, and the kid walks by and jumps in the grown folks conversation. Oh my God, you don't understand what will happen.
That's the end. You will get slapped through the wall.
Right.
First thing, like, why you open my mouth? Get out my mouth.
Right.
Why you in my mouth? I can't even say what I need to say because you in my dang own mouth.
Take your hind parts in the back and play with the kids. That's
Right.
what will be said.
That's your problem now. You in grown folks' business.
Exactly. Now, on the other hand, I witnessed when I went to visit my wife's family, the complete opposite. And the thing about it was we were all sitting in the kitchen, living room, dining room area, and there was a grown-up conversation going on, but all the kids were right there, and they were jumping in the conversation. Now, the reason why my parents and uncles and aunts all were on the same, it takes a village, right?
It does take a village.
The reason they were on the same page with that is because guess what? Children take things out of context because they don't know the validity of what is, they don't know.
Their mind has not matured enough to understand what they're hearing.
But they don't know
Yeah.
what happened and a
And then they
kid
come
will
in
say
on the-
something,
right.
and they don't know what the heck they talking about,
Yep.
and then repeat something and say something to one of those grown-ups that they don't need to say because they don't know what they talking about. They just walked in on a
Or
conversation,
running their mouth.
or maybe they were in that full-fledged conversation and they do know, but it ain't for them to. They jumping out of their place.
Hey, Mel, have you ever heard someone say, what happens in this house, stay in this house?
Absolutely, and that's what it should, and a lot of times, like you said, the kid, they aren't mature, so their brain is programmed to
Right, and I think that
instant
they think,
gratification, like
and they think literally.
right,
And it's not all the time always necessarily literal when we speak about stuff. But kids haven't learned that yet. They haven't
Right.
they're not mature enough to understand the conversation that's being had in front of them.
And
Reasons
then
why
go-
they shouldn't be in the room.
and then they go and repeat things,
Right.
And
To
they
other
don't know
folks.
the full story,
Right.
Or they do, and they don't need to be repeating it, and that's why grown folks hold their tongue on certain things because everything don't need to be out in the streets.
That's right.
And kids just don't understand that. It's all about the glam, like the glitz and glam, like
like,
they
is it
want to be
hilarious? Do they want to be
right.
known for
Or
it?
they want to be in the spotlight.
Right.
So that's how kids think. That, like you said, brain isn't fully processed, fully
Program,
grown, right? And they just friggin'
Running off at the
spitballing,
mouth.
spitballing,
Just running off at the mouth.
right? So that was the difference for me. It was a shocker seeing that, and again, that's different families and different strokes for different folks. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that was one thing that won't go, and that's one of the generational curses. Well, it's not, to me, it's not bad.
I don't think it's bad because a child should stay in a child's place.
Absolutely.
And they should not be talking behind grown. That's what they say. Stop talking behind folks. That's like talking and don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And you talking behind people. Now you done started a whole heap of mess and you don't even know what you're speaking about.
Yep.
If you would have just shut your mouth in the first place because nobody had asked you for anything. Stay in a child's place.
Right.
And some grown folks need to hear it too.
Wait a minute now.
Because they need to stay in their place.
'Cause
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Right. That's all.
Shit.
That's all I ask. Stay in your lane.
Right.
But some will run tell that. Oh, you know what? They will repeat something just like a child, and how a whole area stirred up for no reason.
For no reason at all, because they may have heard something and took it out of context because they were not in on the conversation in the first place.
Come to think about it,
Uh-oh.
that's what we be going through. You know what? You know what?
A generational curse. It's not just in
All because you want to be the one to get promoted faster than somebody. You will go and tell something on somebody because, you know what? Let me stop because that's going down another road. But you know what?
I refuse to be stuck in a cycle.
And
I refuse.
And you can call me whatever you want. I'm a whistleblower, however you want to put it. But I'm gonna call you out on your trash. If you can wake up and you want to disturb somebody's life because you don't got nothing good going on in your life, I'm gonna call you out every chance I get.
Go out of your way to make somebody else's life hell. And for what? No reason at all. No reason at all. Again, I refuse to be stuck in a cycle of a toxic and unhealthy relationship.
Would you stop already, man?
A toxic.
This boy. Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah. Why would you want that?
I refuse to. And again, like I said, that could be any type of relationship. If you're not breathing life into something, if you're not here to add to something, then why are you here?
Let me ask you this though.
Why are you here?
Let me ask you this question though. Don't you think you
Don't get me talking about equally yoked around here now.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Don't you think that people that you talking about are gonna get mad at what you saying?
You know what? And if they did, let's do better. Why are you getting mad?
How did I get to this point?
There is a reason why we're here today, or there's a reason why we gotten to this point in our relationship because of A, B, C. And we're ending here up at D. And I'm just not about to deal with it. I refuse to be in an unhealthy relationship. Okay? Now, before I get too far,
That's
I
the
wanted to
big
go
question.
back.
That's the big question. I don't want to leave that.
You gotta
How
leave
did
it. We gotta leave it.
How
because-
did we get to that point?
Because something got us there, Mel. Something got us there to that point, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Something got us to that point. You don't just go. That's like, because you want to talk about it. You just got to talk. You got to. Speak
You
about
wrong
it.
if you say something angry black man or woman. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone because we done touched on that before. That's a generational curse.
It is.
That's absolutely a
It is
generational
because
curse.
anybody else can. And I'm gonna get here and I'm gonna get right on it. It is just because somebody speaks firmly or speaks with a different tone doesn't necessarily mean that they're angry. Okay? Like people just speak differently. Now, somebody else of a different ethnicity or different background could go up there and cuss you out from head to toe. Cuss you out from head to toe. Be very disrespectful. Blatantly clear. Make it that they're disrespectful. And nothing be said.
Because they say that's passion.
Nothing be said. But when it comes to me, I'm angry. Or if I don't speak to nobody, if I just bring my butt.
You okay?
You know what?
Are you okay?
If I just mind my own business, people still pick at me. Why are you picking at me? I mind my business.
Stop being scared to travel down that road. I ain't never
Ain't
scared.
no road to be. Ain't nobody scared about it.
Listen,
we own the road. We live in the road daily.
I will put S shapes all in that road, doing a burnout. I'll do donuts all down that road.
I was about to say the donuts.
Sure will. It sure will. And get out and take a piss on that road too.
Yeah, it's just, and I hate it's society. Society is society. Is society. Is society. Because it's been known as again through generation. You could go back to let's just talk. You could talk about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
That's a perfect example of it. Malcolm X was very stern about what he spoke about.
Right.
Very stern about what it was. He said, "We're gonna do. It's gonna happen. Either whether you like it or you don't like it, it's happening." Whereas Martin Luther King was more, "We shall overcome.
Okay.
Let's do it peacefully." Malcolm X said, "By any means necessary." Ain't that what he said? He said, "By what?" I'm gonna say it again. By any means necessary is what he said.
Hey, remember I made a comment, and I made a comment. You remember my comment, right? You remember my comment. I'm not gonna say it, but that's the same thing. And I said it verbatim. That means by any means necessary. That's how you make a difference.
Yeah, we can't expect change if we don't first begin within ourselves. And we can't expect it. In order for something to change, somebody got to be uncomfortable. Somebody has to get uncomfortable. And I'll just take it back, to the if you want to achieve something or be something in life that you've never done, you have to do something that you have never done to get to that. You have to be somewhere or be put in a position that you've never been in. Be resilient and get to that position for change to occur.
That's just you getting out your comfort zone.
Exactly.
If you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable.
To affect change, yes,
right.
sir.
And guess what? A lot of times, all you got to do is just put forth the effort, because it's easy to not do something,
yes, sir.
And even harder to actually do something.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people are afraid to do something, and so they will sit stagnant and waiting for somebody to come along to make that change for them when they already know and they had the pieces to the puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Or some of the pieces. Help me fill in some of the pieces so the puzzle ain't as challenging as it was before I got to it. And then what am I doing add to the puzzle? Hold on. Excuse me. What am I doing to help add to this puzzle if I'm not doing my part?
Right. But that's what's
expected of me, though, because people behind me are looking
to
me.
I want to ask you this question, though, because I'm listening to what you're saying, and I knew what you were going to say, so I was going to ask, who are you in regards to this curse?
Ooh. Who are you in regards to it? Like, where are you at in this?
Right.
This curse?
How did you get here? Now, and if you even made it.
Now we really had to go back. We had to, and and, and when God says that He is the beginning and He is the end, I'd have to go back to that. How do we get in this position? Because it's written that we are born into sin already. So it's written that we're born into curses. We already cursed. Before we even come out of our mother's womb, we cursed. Now, He also gives restitution for you. He also gives you a way out of that curse. Now now going back to where you saying, where are you at in that curse?
Boy,
Depends on.
You said something. I almost asked that question.
That depends on where you are.
Restitution.
I want my 30 acres and a mule too.
40.
Oh, they did say 40, didn't they?
Yes.
And a mule. We're still waiting.
Boy.
Or is it our forefathers that are waiting still? But that puts you back in the mind of, hey, where are you at? You can choose, and we were talking about it earlier. You could choose to break the curse if you want to, or are you comfortable already in it?
No, because like I said, and look, I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people don't like dealing with me because I'm that guy. Like I tell you straight up, because I don't like bull crap. I don't. So
it's unhealthy, man. It's just unhealthy.
Right. And I like to be happy. And if you say something crazy around me, I'm just gonna question it because I just don't like stupidity. Now, if you can come to work and have a great conversation and say polite things and
not those subliminal messages at people.
Yeah, subliminal messages all the time, and then when somebody say something to you,
that's not what it is.
You're trying to play the victim, go right into victim mode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just.
No, you said what you said.
That's just dry humor.
Dry humor, excuse me, dry humor, whatever.
Yeah. That I don't look. That's how I feel about that situation.
Yeah, it's you have to, man. At some point, these things, these curses and stuff, like you have to acknowledge that there is actually an issue going on there. That there is actually something that is a curse. There is some
validity,
iniquity in it. There is something that is wrong with it. There is something that you've done wrong and you continue to do wrong. And a lot of it goes to, and going back to the family, like a lot of people don't want to deal with it because it's too difficult at that time to deal with it. So it tends and it continues to run in your family. It continues to run in there. And it continues to cause trauma that leads into your adulthood if it's not properly assessed.
But most times it's not.
And it's not.
And that's how you get to a generational curse,
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps going on and on to the next generation. And some people, you got a lot of people that try to break those generational curses, and I guess one of them is like beating your kids. Do I believe in
not
that?
Beating. There's a difference between beating and disciplining. Let's start there before you get too deep into this beating.
Well, thing. Some people don't see a difference though.
It's a difference.
Yeah, some people don't. And yeah, we could dissect that one, but I mean, do we really need to?
No, I don't think we need to.
Because I mean, yeah, there is a difference,
Mm-hmm.
And discipline and beating your kids, so to say.
Some of us need to be disciplined. Some of this generation that we're dealing with now, you could tell they have not been disciplined a day in their life, and it shows. It shows.
This boy coming in.
Ain't he coming out? And we about to get right up into that because I was just about to say something.
The chat is on fire.
It is because I'm really about to drop a bombshell because you said beating. You know what that was about to lead me into.
Go ahead, elaborate. I want to hear this.
So we want to talk about beating. What about the sexual trauma? We just gonna get right out there and speak about it, right?
I had to take a sip on that one.
We gonna get there.
God,
We gonna
boy.
get out there and just speak about it, huh? We just gonna walk around and act like stuff don't happen, huh? That's what we gonna do. You are aware of what was going on as a parent. But it's because it was your brother or your sister that did it. To your child.
Cousins too.
You just gonna sit here and act like it didn't happen.
Uncles.
We just gonna sit here and act like
Granddaddies.
we just gonna get right on past it. We just gonna mosey right on through it.
Daddy.
Oh, because it happened to us. But that doesn't make... Did it make it right?
It absolutely didn't.
Did it make it right?
It absolutely didn't. And that's one of the worst ones right there. And then I'm gonna throw this one out there too. I told y'all I'm gonna break it up. Putting your children's name. You know.
Because I'm still trying to figure out why I had a car open when I was in the 6th grade and when I was in the 1st grade.
And not at 6 years old. Not at 6 years
A
old.
Lowe's card open in my name.
Not,
I guess I was freaking building houses.
Bob the builder at 6 years
I
old.
guess I was building them things, huh?
Hey. But
And it's crazy. And then you know what? I had to find that out on my own, Mel. To this day, I'm 30-something damn years old.
look, man.
And I had to find that out by myself. You got to know that this stuff is hurt. You got to know. You as a parent should see when your child is crying out for something. You ought to know your child.
Yeah.
You ought to know when they hurting.
But I brought that up.
You
for a
ought to
reason.
know that they hurting, and you still don't want to address it.
Yep, because
what, you embarrassed? Ain't nobody say you had to be perfect. We ain't perfect.
But do better. Don't get
And
embarrassed.
don't make an excuse for the shit.
Right, because that making an excuse doesn't fix it.
No, it's still there. It's still very much there.
But your credit tore up because somebody done put something in your name, and then when you say something, you wrong. How?
Well, that's your... I don't care. I don't care who it is.
That's your mom. But that's my credit.
Right.
Is she gonna fix the credit
That she messed up.
tore up?
In my name, how you gonna turn your credit up, then turn around and turn my credit up?
And I'm just saying, mom. Look, hey, don't get crazy on me now. I'm just saying, mom. You know what? That's your dad. Your dad gonna fix that credit. That's your uncle. Your uncle gonna fix that credit that he put in your name.
They dang sure not.
Got it.
They dang sure not gonna do it.
Right. And
But they sure use it when you needed it.
and it don't matter who it is. It's
and
wrong.
It's setting you up for failure because you had a clean slate.
But
As a child, they
But
take
listen.
that completely away from you as an adult.
Listen though. But they supposed to be there to take care of you so you can do better than them.
Absolutely.
How?
You can't. If you freaking already messing me up before I can get started.
Please.
And then what gets me is the audacity to think that, oh yeah, because you was you right. That's not right. How's that right, Mel? Look at me like the audacity for me to question that you put something in my name.
But the same way they got that attitude, I got the attitude as well. Because if you use that same attitude to do better, then you wouldn't do what you did.
Come on.
You gonna get mad at me because you did something wrong. But then you tell me when I do something wrong that I'm wrong for it and I need to get punished.
Right.
You need to get punished
Right,
then.
because you did something wrong.
Because you did something wrong. But somebody gonna tell me up here that I'm wrong for talking about somebody, my family member like that, and my family like that. I'm sorry. Somebody gonna tell me that I did something wrong for talking about a family member like that. I don't
Ain't
care.
nobody talking about you. Ain't nobody saying nothing about it. As a family member, I'm just calling. Look, I'm not calling you out. What Monique say? I'm not calling you out. I'm calling you up. Ain't that what she said?
I'm talking about you.
She said, I ain't calling you out. I'm calling you up to do better as a people.
I'm talking about you because you did what you did and you know who you are. I don't gotta call nobody's name. But you did what you did.
It's got to be accountability at some point. You got to be held. You got to be accountable. And if you want us, you want us to do better. You as a parent, you ought to want your children to do better. I want mine to do better than me. Mine wanted me to do better than them. You ought to want to do it. But we can't do that if you starting them off wrong.
Right. And
you supposed to push me out there to give me a head start.
Right.
If anything, give me a head start.
Right. And I totally agree with that.
And it's us as a people. We have that problem as a people, bro.
Yeah.
We do.
But it's some other things too.
And then when we make it, don't let us make it.
Right, because then
let us make it.
Because then because when that happened, and that one leads me right into the next one. Because you got to turn each other down. Because you done made it. How about you? You don't got to give me the answers, but how about you enlighten me on something? Mm-hmm. If you made it, then
help me help me.
You could. Okay, let me. Let me break this down for people that think that somebody trying to give somebody something, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go to a job, right, and you're the subject matter expert and you know it all, you do everything right, everybody comes to you, you that guy that name in everybody's mouth because you doing what you're supposed to. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna give you if you die and you the only one in there that knew everything, and you didn't teach nobody, then what the heck are you doing?
Right.
Because now
survive?
you are a liability to that company because you're an asset and a liability because you only know everything, not everybody.
Right.
So now, if you take that knowledge that you have and you sprinkle that on everybody, now somebody in that office can replace you if you go away.
Yes, and can do the job just as good as you, if not better than you did
it. What are we doing?
We gotta look again. Calling you up to do better. Calling you up to do better.
Fighting.
When you had said something about you had said something about not giving you the tools to be successful or not building you up, getting you there. And then when you make it, when you are doing good for yourself, now it's something that is expected of you. Now since you doing good, how about you do this? Since you done went off to be successful now, how about you come back and do this for us?
The devil is a liar.
Well, the last time I checked, didn't we get the same opportunities to do something?
Right. And now if you...
I'm talking about my cousins. I'm talking about kinfolks. I'm talking about cousins and people, around.
Now, if you ask me how I did it,
right,
I'll talk to you now.
I can help you get there. I can give you the tools. But what I won't do is do it for you.
I ain't gonna hold your hand.
I won't do it for you.
And I'm gonna tell you like this. Just because I went off and I got a job, right? And I'm taking care of my family. And every time you see me, I pull up in a new vehicle, or I got some new on my body or my feet or my hands or around my neck. Don't mean that I got to give it to you because you asked me for it. It's my money. I earned that.
Yes. And
I don't have to give nobody anything if I don't want to. And you can't get mad at me because I don't want to give you my money. It's my money.
I work hard for my stuff.
If you go look at that bank account, got my name on it. I don't see your name up there.
And I also didn't see you go to work and deal with these folks like I dealt with them.
Exactly. And then I watch these social media platforms and people talking about, oh, you can't help your people out. Yes, I can, but I'm not gonna always if I help everybody out, I ain't gonna have nothing.
Right. And another thing, it goes back to the Bible again. If I fish for you and do it for you, you're gonna eat one time. Mm-hmm. But if I teach you how to do it and show you how to do it,
a lifetime.
A lifetime.
You're
gonna eat a lifetime.
Right.
We get too comfortable with folks doing it for us.
Coddling.
Doing it for us.
And I don't like to see those, but you know what? That's everybody's opinion though. And you know, opinions are like booty holes. Everybody got one.
And somebody said they stink.
They do. They do.
Man, I want to go back to
Can you scroll?
a lot of it's updated all the way.
No, I think we missed some of those messages, but I'm listening to you though.
It's a lot of times, or at least you know once and
Right there.
once and at least once in your lifetime, and I'm talking about most in most black communities, most black families, incidents occur, and a lot of them are swept under the rug.
Ooh. Would you get okay? I need you to elaborate because
I ain't gonna
I don't believe that.
I ain't gonna get too dirty with it, but what
I
I
don't
will
believe
say
that.
is a lot of black people don't believe in therapy.
They don't.
And they don't. A lot of people don't believe in disorders like bipolar. A lot of black people don't believe in bipolar disorder or.
What they do. They just call it something else.
They do.
They call it something else. Well,
A lot of people say it's lack.
We call it something else.
Yeah, because it'd be like, oh, I just whooped some. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got enough tail whoopings. Or that baby just need to be disciplined. And that person could really have a disorder.
Right.
But we don't believe in therapy. See, we don't believe in what they say. I'm not finna go pay this to tell me that what I know.
But they ain't telling you. They ain't telling you what you know. They telling you what you don't know. And that's the thing. You get so wrapped around thinking you know everything because you feel like you battle tested.
Because grandmama.
Because you feel like you battle tested.
Right.
And the world is against you. So now you know everything, but you don't.
And the world ain't always. It
ain't.
It ain't necessarily always against you. But let me be clear. It ain't easy for you either.
No, it ain't. So you got where you were because some things happen, but you ain't been through everything.
That's
and
right.
And you think because you done been through certain things, you done been through everything, and
right.
you haven't.
Right.
And some things you need to talk about.
I kind of get
cry a little bit.
Something. Let it out. It's okay to show emotion. And that's what's wrong with society. They don't want you to be emotional. They think that you shouldn't, be in touch with your emotional side because you are a black man. And
right.
You can't be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is a sign of you being weak. And that's not necessarily the case. And I don't want to tarry too long on that subject. I want to get back to I ain't gonna tarry too long about that because I don't think that that subject should to be you shouldn't be looked at as being weak when you are in tune with your emotional. You are in tune with your emotional.
I like that
emotional side.
Yeah, I like that comment. What they eat don't make me crap. Poop. Right.
And I think us as black men, we have an expectancy almost. We are expected to conduct ourselves in a certain manner. And if we don't fall in line with what society thinks we should be, then there's an issue.
There is an issue.
And we're receiving it from not only
No.
This is deep. Well,
there is an issue.
Man.
There is an issue.
It's deep because it goes really deep because society wants you to be a certain way. And then your spouse might want you to be another way. Might want you to be a little bit more tender-hearted. But when you do show that, they try to play you like you weak. They try to get on you.
This boy keep coming
like you weak.
So
and what gets me is the spouses always treat me like a queen. I want you to uplift me, and I want you to treat me like a queen. Well, queen, last time I checked, the queen got a king. Last time I checked, on the chessboard, in order for y'all to win, the king and the queen got to be on the same page.
Listen.
That's just me. That's just me. Like, how you gonna expect to be treated like a queen
Does it?
and not want to treat your?
Doesn't the king? No, you know what?
He do.
I'm gonna leave
He
that one alone.
he dang near give his life so the queen can survive. You know what? So the queen can be successful. He is sacrificed so the queen can be successful.
So really, what's happening? What we're talking about is, and some of these generational curses, there's a certain thing that's wanted or expected, and we were talking about this earlier. Like you want men to be emotionally connected, right?
Yes.
And then when the man say, because if they're too hardened, then you go and you tell people like, oh, he doesn't have a heart, he's cold, blah blah blah,
Cold blooded.
When that man shows you a sensitive side,
Oh, you too weak.
He's sensitive, and he's too weak.
You're too sensitive.
And so what do you want? So y'all just want bad guys.
You want somebody to beat you upside your head.
Right. That's gonna drag you through the hallway like Ike and Tina Turner.
That's what you want.
Beat you with a boot. Like,
Cause when you get somebody that treats you with some self-respect, you don't like it.
you don't want it.
It ain't enough.
He ain't doing enough for me.
So we got to get it together, generationals. With this generational curse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the female's head for a minute.
We had to.
Just for a little bit. Like, you can't
wow.
expect me to be, like, you can't treat me like a random dude out here on these streets.
Woo! No, you did not.
I said what I said. You can't talk to me. You can't speak.
Because we ain't on the same level.
We not.
We ain't on the same level. I'm
Not zooming in.
I'm gonna get
You
close.
like, you can't talk to me like I'm a random dude out here because I'm not a random dude.
Don't call me dude, cause I ain't your dude. I'm your husband. I'm your man. Don't call me dude. I'm your man.
So treat me as such.
We ain't on the same level.
You have to have. See, you have to speak to me a certain way. Like, and you know,
make me get sensitive.
Right, you have to speak to me in a respectable manner, the same way I would speak to you. You don't see me hooping and hollering, calling you out your name, but you got the audacity to hoop and holler and call me everything but a child of God. But then you want me to turn around and provide for you.
Ooh,
you want me to turn around?
Ooh, did you see that?
I see it and provide for you. I see that ear. I see it.
No. Up top.
I talk to be the head of the household, but would never be number one in anybody. Boy, you better talk about it. And then that takes me to something. How can you expect me to be the head of this house and lead and make decisions if you keep undermining me?
That's tough.
You gonna sit here and dog me out. Listen, I go to work and I deal with people that dog me out. When I get home, I don't want to deal with that.
Right. I
want you to come home and be my comforter. I confide in you because of what I had to deal with throughout the day. I don't need you down my dang neck before I can get through the door.
Hello.
I don't want to deal with that. I've been dealing with it all day at work.
I need you to be my therapy.
Well, that's what I need.
Yes.
Sure, I'm trying to come down here and we can make on number 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I need you to make me melt when I get in the house.
That's right. And then I would love to do
yes, mommy.
I'm gonna play with this man. I ain't gonna do it. I need that from you. You are supposed to be my inner peace. And a lot of black men are crying out for this stuff. We crying out for this stuff, and we not getting it.
Because
you need to treat us as a king. Like you want to be treated like a queen. You should be treating your man.
Not that love language, right?
You should be, and you should be treating,
because the world treat us rough.
They do,
and we need.
It's a need.
Women. We need strong women.
And we
to
need you
have
to
our
nurture
back.
us too. We still need to be nurtured.
Absolutely.
We still need to be looked after and cared for as well. And it ain't nothing. If you treated me like a king, ain't nothing that you ain't learn how to speak to me. And ain't nothing in this world I wouldn't do for you. Without a question. It's about how you speak and how you interact with me. Lift me up.
All the way.
Cause I'm gonna make sure you good. For sure. Know that. That's not a question. That ain't nothing to do with that. Lift me up.
Yo, we
I
got
can't
some
do it.
comments, man.
I can't do it. It's out of control.
Out of control. Listen,
It's out of control.
And look, we're speaking like
we just being real with y'all.
we can't speak for everybody.
But we being real with you. We
But-
talking about our experiences, what we've been through and what we've noticed, what we grew up watching and seeing, and
Right.
you know.
And that's the thing. Like there are men on other platforms too that are saying these same things.
Exact same
Because
things.
now there's a crazy narrative out there that women feel like they like there's a I don't know. It's
Like
crazy.
it's a tussle. They feel like that they have to assume those masculine roles because that's what they were doing before they met that man.
Well, or they've been hurt by somebody, and not every man is the same. And the thing about it too is there's no accountability for things that you brought from one relationship to the next. If one man hurts you, don't mean the other one, and you don't have to treat that man the same way.
But you don't supposed to bring it no way into your next relationship.
Exactly. And
you don't supposed to do that.
but now it's at an all-time craziness because
It is.
I done seen a guy say he was gonna take the lady to the spaghetti factory or Red Lobster, and she was like, "You gonna take me where?" And
Red Lobster used to be the thing back in that thing.
One girl told a guy she wanted a salad. He sent her $15. She said, "You could never send me $15."
She said that.
What? I can't for a salad? Well, what salad are you getting?
Right, because you trying to get the works. If you try anything over $15,
That salad must have a whole chicken inside of it. $15. $15 can't get you a salad?
more. Boy, I'm telling you, man.
It might not. These days, jacking these prices up.
It might be,
So,
and that's for a small.
but look, I just want to I want to touch that part on women, but then I also had another thing that was gonna come up because there's this big old thing coming up that I feel like it never goes away. And I heard somebody talking about it the other day, and it just made me mad because it happens so often.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that because a woman births a child, if her and a man separate, they automatically have to get the child and then drag a man through the mud, deadbeat father, all of this. And
But he's not doing that, though.
And he can't see the kids. And that's not always the case.
Absolutely.
What is going on with that? And I see that it doesn't matter if you black, white, blue, green, purple, orange, whatever it may be. I see this happen with everybody.
Right.
And it's crazy because I was talking to somebody the other day and they said that the significant other talk about sexual harassment and assault and all types of stuff, and this guy hadn't even done any of that stuff. He just wanted to see his kids,
And you making that hard.
and now he got allegations. He got to go to court and he got to plead his case because something been made up because she bad, bitter, and don't want to let him see the kids, and that's an issue.
Yep, just because she bitter.
And look, I will say this now: there are some deadbeat dudes out there.
Mm-hmm.
If the shoe fits,
Then
then wear it, because some of y'all are some deadbeats.
And y'all need to do better.
Excuse me, there's a lot of y'all out there, and but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there's a lot of good dudes out there that's getting railroaded, and that stuff needs to stop.
It do.
And that's
just
one,
because the mom, I don't hit on, just because you the mom don't necessarily mean you the best thing for that child.
Woo, Lord have mercy, boy. You said something right there.
It doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Like, it does not necessarily mean because you birthed that child that you are the necessarily one, and that's good for that child.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I done seen some trash walking around, and when I say trash, I'm talking they got different dudes in and out the house,
like an elevator, just like a revolving door.
Right.
And got drugs around the kids.
Mm-hmm. And look, and a lot of people when they say drugs, they talk about weed. I'm talking about they got some hardcore drugs around,
some heavy stuff around these children.
And then the kid get a hold of it, and I don't know how they got a hold to it because you left it out.
That's right. You got everybody, Ed, John, Sue, it's Jacob, and whoever running up through this house. These kids up in here. And then you had the nerve not let them see their daddy.
I got these Mexican Americans.
That's crazy to me.
Right.
That's crazy.
Notice I said Mexican.
Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah, hey, it's I'm telling you right now, and I'm just saying that because to me that's something that needs to be talked about, because as soon as you go into the courtroom, the judge automatically sign with the mom, and that doesn't always
on what grounds
it isn't always the right answer.
It's not.
Some of these women are bringing dudes in to replace a dude that isn't bad. Right. You're introducing your kid to somebody they don't know.
Right. And they don't necessarily need to know.
They don't. And some of these guys, they don't need to know.
Yep.
And y'all just doing it out of spite to make a guy mad. That is wrong. That's and wrong. Like case in point, we were talking about this earlier. That dude, that lady was letting the dude beat the kid. And the kid broke almost every bone in that little boy's body. I think the boy was like 2 or 3 years old, man.
That's disgusting, man.
But yeah,
you got this dude around him.
And then you got in court talking about, I didn't know that he was doing that. Yes, you did, because you allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to stop this mess.
Stop the madness.
But that's my piece on that one, man. That's my piece on that one. And my next question was, why is there even a curse in this day and time? And
because I would like to say misery. Love. It's misery and it's harm, and it's often transferred through negative patterns, that you display as a child, and it's the result of your parents' action.
But as you said it, but you don't. And I wrote it down. I knew it was coming. You don't have to do or be, how things were, how people or things were in the past. You don't have to do those things.
You don't have to do it.
And you don't have to be those, man.
But you have to learn what's right in yourself too.
Listen.
You need to learn what's right.
Case in point. Just because my father contributed and making me, don't mean I got to be like him.
Ooh.
Listen. And I say that to say this. There ain't nothing in this world that makes me want to be like him. Nothing. And because all the heartache and pain and the things that I missed out on in life, there ain't nothing that makes me want to be like him. But you know what I do? I make sure that all the daughters and the grandchildren that I have never have to worry about something like that. And I promise you, if you don't believe me, I got one up here right now, one in the room, and one somewhere else. I can get them all on the line right now. And even my grandkids. And I can tell y'all right now, I'm any and everything that my dad did, I'm not doing. I'm telling you that right now. And that's why I broke that generational curse.
That's right.
Because I'm not a follower. I could have easily went down the same road as him, but I didn't. I don't want to be that way.
And I'm breaking it with my family right now. There's some things that, I didn't like growing up, that, my father did and stuff like that. But, I just thank God because my father, he did a 360 in his life, and I was blessed, to be a part to witness that and to see him, do better for his family and come to bat. He came back and he, stepped up to the plate and did what was required of him. And I got to give him that because a lot don't come back. A lot never get it right. Never can get it right.
Right. And I'll tell you right now, like my father did 20 years in prison. He's out. He has a decent job. He's doing everything in the world. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but I don't want to be like him. That's all I'm saying.
I want to be better.
I don't want to be like him.
I want to do better.
How can I be like somebody that was never in my life? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not. I don't want y'all to take that bad, because the absent part is what is. I just don't want to be that way. And he's my Facebook friend. I talk to him. I see him. I just don't want to be like him.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It ain't nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to be like him. Point blank, period. Like I said, he has a decent job, pays well. I just don't want to be like him.
Right, man.
I don't.
I think it. A lot of us, though, a lot of issues, that kind of just screams from us not, in those communities, again, being comfortable, and not wanting to deal with the uncomfortableness that comes with change.
Well,
but we got to address it now. We have to address that now.
So let me ask you this though. And I'll put this one here because that one followed the other one, right? So I said, why is there a curse in this day and age, right? Mm-hmm. So my next question, like,
it's you know what? I'm glad you said that. Let me answer that before you get too far on that. It's a curse because we have never. I wrote this down. It's going to continue to be a curse because you never recognize the inequity of it. Mm-hmm. And it's going to continue to be a curse because first we need to understand, and we have to confess both our involvement in the curse,
right,
and our forefathers' involvement in the curse, in order for God to bring us out of the curse.
Right.
Because there always is going to be a curse, regardless. Now, like you said, you could choose, but that will be you, declaring in front of God, I know that we cursed. And Lord, I apologize for my actions that caused us to be in this curse, and my forefathers' actions that caused us to be in this curse. Mm-hmm. Now, I need you to come in here and I need you to move like you never moved before. Because we got to get rid of this. Mm-hmm. We got to get rid of this. And until then, we always going to be dealing with racism. We always going to be dealing with sexism. Mm-hmm. We're going to be dealing with these things. That's just what it is. That's just life. Unless we all can get together and fall in line with the word.
Right.
We're going to deal with it until the day we die.
So
we still probably dealing with Adam curses. So, and we are.
With these curses though, if you do have curses, mm-hmm. what curses would you all right, so
I like your wordplay on these curses.
What are some things that you won't change? Ooh. So
well,
you partaking in the curse. What are some
things I won't change in that curse? I would not change discipline. I would not sacrifice no discipline.
Right.
And the reason I won't sacrifice discipline is because discipline made me who I am today. Mm-hmm. And it built resiliency for me. And it also gave me self-discipline.
Not a backbone.
And I want to give it to my kids, and I want to make sure that they have a strong foundation. It's a foundation for me that I can always fall back on because, one, I was raised to respect people.
They have to have that backbone and that foundation because, especially in this world that we live in today.
You got to, because you're going to fold quick. You're going to fold like a lawn chair if you don't got no backbone.
And anybody going to be able to do any and everything they want with you, and that ain't it. I promise you.
Can't.
I promise you.
It didn't make you feel like you're the one that's wrong.
Exactly. And that's the victim role. Mm-hmm. That's the victim role. Somebody said, black people do only what they are taught.
Well, hold up now.
Need forward thinking. So what we said forefathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're getting at.
You gotta do what they're taught to
That's
do.
that slave mentality.
That's exactly what I said when we was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm. That's that slave mentality.
And it's like if you do anything outside the will, you're gonna be cursed for doing it. No, that is not what it's meant to be done. It is not meant for us to just do something because somebody else said do it. Find out for yourself.
Yep.
Do your research.
And that's what. And if you don't, then you're forever doomed.
You're gonna forever be in bondage. That's what's gonna happen.
Yep. And somebody gonna have you jumping around like a puppet doing a jig. And I'm telling you right now,
not tap dancing for them.
Tap dancing. And I will not tolerate that. I promise you.
Do it.
And it's only gonna get worse when I get.
We can't afford. We can't afford not to have a conversation. We got to get to the root of the issues. That's a root. One of them right there.
Well,
that's a root because we being taught stuff. We want to teach what we've been taught.
Yeah.
Because granddaddy said so.
But we said that earlier because it almost like a cult. Now you know what? I'm glad I brought that up. Because we need to talk about something. We need to talk about something. You told me something before we came on this camera, and I said, wait a minute. And I always say that wait a minute be give me though. But I need you to talk to us because we want to talk back on this. Now you say there's some things that people do in their families, and I said that's almost you. And I brought that word up, but I want you to talk to me about that.
It's.
My God, man, I love it.
You know,
we're gonna answer that question.
You know, the respect thing. Going back to talking about the respect thing. So we were raised, to call our cousins that are adults by the title cousin, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the understanding behind it is that it's a sign of respect. Because the cousin is an adult and you would be a child at that time. Now, that happened with our generation. As my sister and my cousins and I, we grew up, we always said cousin this or cousin that if they were an adult, right? Now, I never understood exactly why we had to say cousin because I never disrespected them or we never disrespected them or we took anything from them. But it's almost like, hey, that's what I told you to do. That's how you gonna refer to them.
So how did you feel about that?
At the time, I really just didn't. It really didn't bother me. I didn't think too much about it.
Yeah,
I didn't think too much about it till I was but adult, and I was like, I don't need nobody to call me cousin, nothing. Yeah, you can call me my name. If I'm older than you, I'm older than you. The thing, as long as you don't disrespect me, then we don't have an issue.
Right, and no disrespect at all because
not a cult.
This is what different families do in different places. But my question is, what does that do? Like, how does that show a sign of respect? Because
you said cousin in front of it.
Yeah, because if a cousin is a cousin is a cousin.
Right, regardless
regardless
of the matter.
I get it, but you saying cousin don't distinguish if somebody grown or not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But make no mistake about it. Like, if you telling me that if I say cousin in front of my cousin's name, that tells me that they're a grown up. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if that cousin says something out the way to my mama, it ain't no cousin. Well, I'm going straight for him.
Straight for you.
Because I respect my mama
way more than I respect you.
Exactly.
Because that's my mama.
So what is that doing?
You're right. Because you get out of line with Mom Dukes, hey.
You still my cousin.
You still gonna be my cousin.
But I'm still gonna say something to you.
And I'm still finna be on your neck.
Right, because you disrespected my mom or dad, or I'm
not gonna have it.
I'm standing 10 toes on that one.
On business.
Right.
On business.
So, that's just my. But again, that's how some
That's how
families
people-
rock, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna knock it, but I just don't see how that
Understand, yeah.
makes
A bit of a difference.
that
yeah.
don't make somebody respect somebody,
Right.
because the moment that cousin get out of pocket, you are all
You subject to all of it.
exactly.
All the smoke. You subject to all of it.
It goes because
What they said, it's rated E for everyone because everybody can get it. E for everyone because everybody can get it.
yeah, and because that's what's really gonna happen. The moment that cousin get out of pocket, or you gonna you just everything
Out the window.
out the window.
Yep. Man.
Cause cousin Lula May ain't gonna talk about or be over there at church talk about my mama, and
Right.
look, and after church and know my mama just left.
Yep. Right on. Just gonna speak ill of her right out in front of you.
Cousin Lula May, you better get your mess together, cause
And get it together
I'm
right
call
now.
my mom. I'm gonna call my mom on speakerphone so she can hear everything you saying.
And right. And my mama gonna be the only one to tell me to get back in line.
Exactly, cause you ain't. Now, if you disrespecting my mama or daddy like that,
Man, well, we talked about a lot tonight, man, and I just, if I could leave anything with you as far as a generational curse, in order for us to start healing, in order for us to start doing better, in order for us to,
you done.
I'm wrapping it up.
You are.
I'm getting ready to wrap that thing up, dog.
We got so much to talk about.
I'm getting ready to wrap her right on up.
I know you.
Get ready to wrap that thing right on up.
I
dog.
got some questions though.
Well, come on, hit me with them.
I got some questions, man.
Hit
'Cause
me with them things.
I know we've been up here for a while, and we done talk.
Not that I'm throwing them hands for mines.
It's just some other things that I want to talk about, because I seen this podcast, man, and I ain't gonna stay too long on it, but I don't know if y'all know. I don't even want to, because I don't really care about what he got to say, but I don't even want to say his name.
I think we spoke about this. Yeah, we spoke about this.
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier, and if he ever, I don't know, I don't care if he sees it or not, because I don't care nothing about how he feel, because I think he was wrong for how he did his buddy. But this dude on the podcast, he got a lot of followers and stuff. I see him. He with a bunch of rappers and stuff. But he made a video, and they were down in Florida, I believe, and two black guys, and they from Philadelphia, I believe, I believe so, but somewhere up north. Anyway, the dude is on a corner, and he's recording the strip. Then he looks over. He said, "Oh, look at this dude. Look at him. He got a surfboard." And he runs over, like, "Look at this boy. Look at him. He got a surfboard." Talking hell out. He got a surfboard. And his buddy's like, "Man, won't you leave me alone?" He said, "I'm just trying to expand my horizons. I want to be relaxed. I want to enjoy my time. I want to do things different. All you think about is doing the same old stuff
That they think we gonna do.
Right.
That they
exactly.
say we gonna do.
And he said, "Man, look at this. Look at this boy over here. He looks stupid as fuck." Why? Cause a black dude with a surfboard?
Yep.
That's your buddy. And that's a generational curse.
It is.
What
almost
is
like
it?
a stereotype that they talk about.
Exactly. What black people can't surf? They said black people can't swim.
Yep. But
I can swim.
I can swim too.
I know a lot of black people that can swim. They said black people ain't supposed to ride bulls. I see a lot of them. I see a bunch of black dudes singing country songs.
That's right. You better watch out, because they said they coming through with these country albums coming up.
It's crazy.
Then they say they about to do these country albums.
But all I'm saying is, if we do it to ourselves, then how is it wrong when other people do it to us?
Boy, you about to open up you about to open up a can of
You know
worms,
what I'm saying?
dog. You about to open up a can of worms, bro.
You sitting here and you telling people that we only can do certain things,
And we not.
and we're super athletic, but you telling us we can only do certain things.
Yep.
There's nothing in this world that we can't do. But if our own people are tearing each other down, that's crazy.
And again,
We don't, and if you just, like, some of these dudes really just listen to only rap music. And that's so closed minded, man. Like
you gotta
that's
expand
crazy.
your horizon. You gotta get outside the box, man. You gotta start. It's gotta be a change.
And right. And then another one. This was a while back. He told another guy, right? Dude was like, yeah, man, I got this car. And the dude said, yeah, I got that new Lambo SUV. First thing came out of dude's mouth. My wife got that car. That's a woman car.
What does it matter?
Lamborghini they did not make that SUV for a woman.
Disclaimer for women only.
They did not make that thing for a woman. They made it for everybody.
That can get anybody that can afford it.
Anybody that can afford that, they can get that. They did not just when he said my wife. That other rapper looked at that other rapper and was like, really? You doing this in front of on camera and in front of other people?
Right.
That right there, that is a problem in itself.
Right.
That's why
we can't get by, bro.
Exactly.
We can't get ahead because we keep on chopping each other down at the porch. Chopping each other down at the porch to get in the house. Get in the house, dog.
And let me tell you, this one right here gonna get you.
Mm-mm.
I also watched another, and this one, and it's crazy because everybody them naming are all rappers, and they are all black guys, right? This guy said on a podcast, on a Breakfast Club, on a Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God. He said to Charlemagne that he's checking people's. You can't be his friend and say that you're pro-black. If he look over, he said, don't let me look over and your wife ain't black. Because when I got an award, my wife was on the stage. It was so humbling because she came up there with me and I got my award and she hugged me. And you can't be pro-black and don't have a black wife. And I said, what?
I definitely disagree with that.
He said, because that other woman won't know the struggle that you went through. I said, okay, I get that part. They won't ever really know the struggle that you went through, but they can have understanding.
Absolutely.
They can have understanding, but you won't sit here.
Be sympathetic for it.
And sympathetic, yes, because a lot of people do care about what black people went through, and guess what? They ain't all black. And I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't about to tell me who the hell I can date, who the hell I can marry. Yep. And you going to check my black card because I'm not married to a black woman. You ain't about to tell me that.
That's just ridiculous.
You ain't about to tell me that. So that's just like you telling me, hey, if I go because I like Mercedes and you like BMW, that I'm wrong because I like Mercedes.
Yep.
You can't do that.
Yep.
Because I like what I like. You can't do that.
And again, it goes back to what you have. That's your opinion.
Exactly. That's the epitome of a generational curse. You're going to tear another black dude down or a black woman down because they date another race. And you're going to say they're black. You're going to take their black card away.
Right.
Because because they dating another race, you're going to check them. And then the asinine comment that came after that was, because I'm going to ask you why your wife ass so flat. So you telling me that there are white women, Hispanic women, Asian women that they all got flat asses?
Not pancakes.
Come on.
They got to quit it.
We in 2024 and that's the comment that comes out of your mouth?
That's wild. Because everybody out here built like a big body beamer out here these days.
Listen, these BBLs, boy, let me tell you.
They're here taking it out, boy.
Let me tell you.
They're here making statements out here, boy.
That tandem toe.
Not the PLST sitting back there.
Bro, but we making jokes about it. We making jokes about it, but that's somebody really said something like that, bro.
And that's sad. That lets you know where we at.
Like you
lets you know where we at.
There it is. And he said it. He know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the dude.
And we got to do better.
He
like I said,
that.
Not calling people out. We calling you up.
But then he brought it. And, but the thing is, the reason I know it's a generational curse is because he talked about his grandma and grandpa. And I said, what? They taught you that. That's what you got from them.
That ain't just with ours. That ain't just what our family. That happens through. That ain't just with black people.
But he was black and said,
is.
I can only speak on that.
Right, you right, but it ain't just with black people though. Like, a lot of people want to. They say they want to keep their bloodline clean.
Yes, they do.
They do.
They
that's
do.
That's a generational curse in itself. Because
it is.
Love should know no boundaries. Love doesn't know no boundaries. When you say you love somebody unconditionally, that's without condition.
Yes.
Without condition, dog. So it should be no conditions on that love.
Yeah, the condition that you love me. But yeah, I told you, you're right. It's not, but that's what I seen.
That man said, "You're not finna tell me who I can date and how I'm gonna date them."
You can't, and but then go check my black card. I wish you would. I don't care who you are, how famous you think you are. You ain't about to check me because I like what I like.
Right, and I've been black my whole entire life. I ain't changed color since not that I know of.
And haven't.
I've been black since the day I was born.
And that don't mean I turn my back on black people.
That's right.
I just like what I like.
That's right. It ain't always got to be about race. That's our freaking problem. That's why we stay divided. That's how we stay divided. We ain't gonna never be able to do nothing. Change can never happen if we stay divided. Which brings me back to change starts with us.
Yeah.
It starts with us.
But you know what? You didn't talk about having respect for people just because they older.
Oh man.
Bro, I told you look, man.
You trying to get it. You trying to get there. You trying to get there. Listen, you know what? You absolutely right, Mel. You absolutely right, Mel. Just because you older don't necessarily mean that I have to respect you, or don't necessarily mean that you are going to get respect from me. Because if you disrespectful, I'm gonna meet you with the same energy that you met me with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not finna just sit here and just give you respect, and you just continue to sit here and disrespect. What they say, what play in my face. You gonna sit up here and you gonna play in my face, like I owe you something. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you not a dang thing. You don't play. Look, I tell them, hey, you ain't doing none of the 3 Fs.
What's the 3 Fs?
It might get a little X-rated. If you ain't, hey, financing me or you feeding me, and y'all know what the other F is.
Right.
Then your opinion is irrelevant. It's just that what it is. It's an opinion. And we already covered what those are.
Yeah. Now, the reason I brought that up, because there's a thing out there, and people walk around, and just because they're elderly, they expect for you to be a certain way. Now, my mom raised me with respect. Now, if I walk in a building, I see older people. You don't even got to be old.
I'm gonna speak to you anyway.
Good morning, ma'am, sir.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But some of y'all just be out here just expecting somebody to just do everything and
roll
then
out the red carpet for you to get on.
Right. And you out here teaching, you want respect, but you in the family and you doing
this, that, and the third.
Right. And people letting y'all get away with the stuff y'all doing, but you want respect. Now, we brought it up earlier, some of the things that people be doing in these families and stuff, and people still sitting here running
talking
up to them,
respect
talking about, oh, they such great people, blah, blah, blah.
No, you're not.
And
you weren't great when you was over there touching on little Susie Q now. But got the audacity to turn around and talk about something. You gonna respect me and call me by what I'm supposed to be. What I ought to call you by is what you is. That's what ought to happen.
Hey, he not lying, because
you're wrong. You ought to be behind somebody's freaking bars. That's what you ought to be doing.
Absolutely.
Maybe you being called somebody's missus.
Not holding the pocket.
Shoot, don't make no sense, bro. The audacity behind folks.
Yeah.
The audacity. Yeah. They ought to quit. They gotta stop it. And then you know what? That's another thing. I'm glad she said, because you in the comments, you made me think about something. Now, it goes back to your question about generational curses. How is there even a generational curse? How is there... Right. How is there even a generational curse? And it just takes me back to the same thing is, it's because it's like racism. How are people racist in this day and time? It's 2024.
That's generational.
It's being taught.
That's generational.
It's being taught.
Yeah, generational.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because none of these and then the way they let it roll off their freaking mouth, the way they let it roll off their tongue, it's almost like you don't care. Because somebody privileged and they can just speak how they want to speak. And we're supposed to just sit here and take it.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
It's a generational curse. You make us feel bad for standing up for ourselves. You make us feel like we did something wrong because we standing up for ourselves. If not me, then who?
Hey.
If I don't stand up for what's right, then who gonna stand up for what's right? What about my kids?
You got to do it for them.
Who gonna stand up for them if I ain't standing up?
Well, you teaching them so they know what to do. If you not here,
it's crazy. I gotta talk to my son about a freaking cop. It's crazy that I gotta talk to my son about this stuff.
It is getting worse. I feel like it is because
they ain't doing nothing but getting slicker with it. They just covering it up, calling it something else.
Well, yeah,
that's what they doing with it.
Yeah, cause
they sitting here playing in our faces on everything.
Yeah,
on everything, whether it's entertainment, whether it's military, regular everyday life. They sitting here playing in our face, and we supposed to just sit here and take it.
Mm-hmm.
Cause who are we? Why y'all think we still have to celebrate this month? Why is there a need to still celebrate this month? If we didn't need to, if we didn't have to remind people.
Cause all the other months ain't. I mean, they gave us Juneteenth. Guess to make us feel better.
We got to celebrate this because we ain't learned as a society. We still got some growing to do as a society, as a nation.
Oh Lord! Somebody said, "Oh wait, but they have a black friend." Stop. Stop.
And
so
they
that
think
makes it valid.
And they think that's their way in. Oh, because my friend is black. Or oh, because my friend is Hispanic. Or oh, because my friend is Indian, or whatever the case may be. My friend is Asian. So you think you could just talk to them and disrespect them? How they your friend if you sitting up here disrespecting them right in their face? You playing them right in their face, but y'all friends.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm also going. You know how I am. I'm gonna just be real straight down the middle. Now there's a word that a lot of people like to sling out, right? I think you know that word that I'm talking about. It starts with an N. Now,
you know,
on top of that,
you know what?
Now that word is being slung.
You know what? Ooh, Lord have mercy.
But I'm gonna tell you where another problem comes with that.
Us.
If you as a black man or black woman, African American, I ain't never been to Africa, but whatever.
American, I'm black.
That's what I am.
Black and
I'm American. I don't like that label. I ain't never been to Africa, so
They said we don't like us nowhere. They said they don't like us.
Whatever. But that's how I feel about it. But if we're walking around and we're saying this word on a daily basis in front of these people, how can you get mad and say we own that word? We own it, but you saying it with them, to them. Yep. You're calling them that word.
And then you get mad
and
when
then
they
get mad when
they
say it back to you. Don't call them that word.
Right. Stop calling each other that word.
Exactly. It don't even have to be in your vocabulary. To be
out.
honest,
take it out completely. Just take it all the way out. Because that's hypocritical for you to speak like that.
And just like that.
Because you don't see no other race walking around doing that. You don't see no other race walking around calling themselves that.
Just like the dude said that civil rights guy. Can't think of his name. He said somebody asked him. That's even worse. Don't get
call
him
me.
Started. Don't call
me.
He
said, because that man said, I wish I had a crayon box.
Right.
So I can pull it out.
Color.
And show people that everything is a color. White's a color. It's in the box.
And I said what I said. Because it is. You open a crayon box. It's gonna say name all the colors. Guess what?
White in there.
It's in there. Don't call me color. That's just as worse. But that civil rights activist that I was talking about, somebody asked him, "You don't get offended by that word?" He said, "No." He said, and they said, "Well, why?" He said, "Because if I don't believe in it, then I can care less what they call me because I don't believe that." He said,
and I don't know if people actually check the definition of it, but the definition is far from what you think it is.
right, it doesn't label.
It doesn't label at all. It
Now,
don't say nothing about no color at all.
If you go in the Urban Dictionary, then they come up with their own bull crap.
Right, but in the encyclopedia, Dexter or Webster's dictionary.
Now they trying to. I ain't gonna lie to you because some of these dictionaries be putting some crap in there, and they trying to.
They need to not do that. Because when the last time I looked at the definition, it said nothing about nobody's color. It didn't speak of no color whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
Well, hey, man, we've been.
Look, man.
Boy, we could.
I'm just gonna say, on this episode has been a good one. We've
Emotional
enjoyed
one for sure. Almost a tearjerker out here, wasn't it?
No, I ain't get that far.
Nah, shoot, I did.
I ain't get that far.
I
got
pushed the cord a
emotional
little
now.
bit. Look,
I got emotional, but
because I got to thinking about what some of them generational curses actually mean. I got to thinking about experiencing those generational curses and how nothing was done about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Definition, ignorance. Yeah, that's
what it means.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with no color. Nothing to do with no color.
It doesn't. It definitely.
Hey, ignorance is bliss. That's what they say. Ignorance is bliss.
Because I know a lot of ignorant people, and and the color ain't attached to it. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Yes, Lord. But yeah, this episode has been a good one. We just wanted to go and touch on how we feel about generational curses.
Yeah.
And whether it be everyday life, military, whatever, civilian, because it's it's a thing. It's real. We can
it's
sit
living
here
and it's breathing.
We can sit here all night
night
and talk about it, with you guys and get responses from you. We love the feedback, by the way. And if somebody watches this video later on, look, make sure y'all still reply to it because we'll be checking in on it.
Yep. It'll be available on YouTube tomorrow and all other streaming platforms. So please get in those comments.
Like, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff because this platform is definitely for you guys more than it is for us. Like, we want to talk to you guys, but we want to hear your side, your opinions on stuff too, because we're giving you our opinion, and we're saying that because we're not saying it's fact because we're not always right about everything, and that's the thing.
And we want to have a conversation. We want to see your viewpoints and what you want to hear and how you feel about these topics that we discuss. And I want to say, the change, it begins here with us. And, we have to break these generational curses. We have to break them. And we have the ability to do so. We just got to get on the same page and, we could break these curses so that, children don't have to experience some of the things that we experienced while we were growing up.
Right. Somebody wants you to explain that ignorance is bliss.
So the ignorance, to me, I mean, like, it's like not knowing. Like, you really don't know what you're dealing with or what you're speaking about or nothing at all. So you just blissful, you happy, you just running along. It's just like an innocence. You don't know what's going on. It's like innocence of a child. You just don't know what's going on.
So it doesn't bother you.
It won't bother you. And it genuinely won't do it. Like, you have no feelings or anything about it. You just, you enjoy what you said or what you're doing, and you have no idea exactly the level of, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't know the level of you don't really know you don't really know the impact of what you may have said or what you have done, the effect that it has on people, because you just don't know. That's what it means. You just don't know. That's why they say that it's bliss. Now, not to tarry too much long, we still got our merch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We still, you see it. Let me turn it this way.
We got hats,
Black
tumblers.
hat. We got white hat. Hey, we can get these for y'all too. Y'all can see that back here.
You can get whatever you want, whatever you need, man. We'll make it happen.
We got tees, we got hoodies,
Yes,
we
sir.
got dry fit shirts. Anything that you need, just let us know. We'll be able to get it to you. We're gonna create that page where you guys can
go and
go into it and then
DM
purchase
us or what you need to do.
Right.
Put your order in, and we just wanna thank y'all for being so patient with us. And we knew we knew we was gone for a while. We knew we was gone for a minute. That's why we wanted to come back with you and hit you in the face with some heat.
Right.
We wanted to.
It's been a while. Like I said, we had some.
What that turbulence. Turbulence, if you will.
Look, it didn't matter to me because I wanted all it. I wanted
all of it, boy. I wanted the mask to drop down, boy. I want
straight through it. And we just talked about a lot of things because look, just some clarity on it. We had some issues where people were trying to come for us because of an episode that we put out. And they didn't like what we were saying. So they were like, oh, y'all need to just cancel your whole podcast until you get out the military. Ain't gonna happen. You don't get to steer the narrative here. We said some things they didn't like, and okay, cool. We'll remove that. But we ain't stopping our podcast, and we're gonna keep on going, and we are gonna keep on talking about topics that we want to talk about. Nonetheless, like we learned some things, and we just know how to navigate around it. But this podcast is gonna keep on going, and we do this for you guys, and we hope that this podcast grows. Mm-hmm. So if you up here, get that podcast out to your friends.
Please share it, comment.
Invite people.
Subscribe to our YouTube, Passing the Word. All right, pass the word with Jay and Mel. Make sure y'all freaking get up with our Instagram. I'll tag those links in the bio. All right. So
2 tears in a bucket, pip. Boy, you better stop talking about Miss Bell like that. Yeah, hey, that's what she said. You know how I cry. 2 tears in a bucket, pip. That's it. That's it. That's all you get. But anyway, look, we love y'all. We thank y'all for supporting us.
Keep rocking with us. We can do it.
We're gonna bring y'all more exciting episodes like this.
It's gonna get better.
And they're only gonna get better from here. We're only going up.
Only going up, baby. Only going up.
Right. Look, I'm reading these comments at the same time. Because people still
comments still hot, baby. The comments still hot.
And hey, just so real quick, look. We're gonna get you on the show, bro. We're gonna get you on the show. We got people. we got people
lined up.
Right. We got people lined up. They want to come in and they want to be on the episode. Look, we can get you guys on the episode. We really can. But we have an order that we're following. So we got people that we're gonna put on the show. We want to hear everybody's opinion. So we got y'all. So I mean, look,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We're gonna get back to y'all.
Be patient, and we're gonna get you.
The next episode gonna be a banger.
Yeah, It's gonna be good, man. And again, like before we get on up out of here, I want to thank God. You know what I'm saying? I want to drive home that the fact of this generational curse, it cannot be done without God. You got to have Him. He got to be in somewhere in the equation for you to be successful. Remember that. All right.
Right. In order for that generational curse to I don't want to say that all of them are bad, because some of them, if you want to keep them, that's fine. Then you don't have to do it. But we just voice our opinion. But to change some of those things, you have to want to do it, and you have to have the will and the mindset.
Yes, sir.
Because they're going to be naysayers that are going to try to tell you that you're wrong, and you raise your family how you want to, but there are generational curses out there, and some of them are very bad. We went over them, and they just don't make sense to. They just don't. And
So can we do better?
right,
Calling you up to the plate. Let's do better. Not calling you out. Let's do better and let's grow as humanity. Let's grow in that retrospect. Let's be respectful to each other and let's grow together. Because we could do more when it's us together versus us fighting alone.
right, absolutely. I mean, look, together we stand, divided we fall.
Absolutely.
And that's what this nation is based on. And I see a lot of dividedness going on, and we need to do better as a whole.
Because we're taking God out of everything. We need to put him back.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get him back in, everything else will fall according to plan. With that being said, baby, sit up straight. Look at me.
Hey, talk to me, I talk back.
It's your boy Jay.
And your boy Mel.
And this has been Pass the Word. Thank
Yes,
y'all
sir.
for tuning in. We'll
Thank
holler
y'all.
at you.
Y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all need to go ahead and pass that word.